All right. This will be it for the year. So this guy we're looking at here, he is named Albrecht Dürer. Was named, sorry, Albrecht Dürer. Um, he was a German, if I remember correctly, either German or Polish um, painter, and this is a self-portrait of him. And you can kind of see some Renaissance aspects with him, coloring, the detailed work with hair. Uh, but you really kind of look at his face though, and he's got that expressionless aspect to him almost. So there are some differences between the Italian Renaissance and the movement of Renaissance ideas throughout other areas. So we look here at this map, and this shows the spread of the Renaissance in itself. Um, so you can see here in Italy with Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Petrarch, Brunicelli, all these people here, and you can see how early within time they were. As you move up, years Dur in the German Austrian area in 1471 to 1528, and you have Van Eyck, somebody might have done Shakespeare, all the way up to the 1616s. Cervantes, who we didn't go over in Spain, he was up in the into the 1616s. So you can see the spread of ideas, and it's kind of you can really look. It's interesting to see that um, Da Vinci lived from 1452 to 1519. You have Michelangelo and Da Vinci living at the same time frame. Da Vinci was 23 years old when Michelangelo was born, but um, still that same time frame, but more than likely did not know about each other just because of travel in itself. Um, you can look at Durr was around when uh, when Da Vinci was around and Michelangelo was around also. So you can see that again they cross paths, time frame wise, but maybe not life wise. You know, in person. So when we look at the spread, you can see that it starts in Italy, spreads to France, Germany, Flanders, which is modern day Belgium, Holland, England, and Spain. And this diffusion of Renaissance ideas occurred through the trade, travel, and education. That's the reason why I asked you guys the question of, excuse me, how has trade impacted us, even today? And I told you guys, you can look at the clothes that you're wearing at the moment, and more than likely they're not made in America. They're probably made in Vietnam, China, Laos, can Brazil, maybe. You can keep looking at them and finding these areas. But when these people trade today, it's just like trading back then. We're not just trading goods, but we're trading different foods, religion. You have a lot of things that go into this, but you really look at Italy though. At this point in time, it was like it says, it was the gateway to Europe. It was like entering the gates of your favorite roller coaster, and knowing, or your favorite amusement theme park, whatever, Cedar Point, whatever you can think of, and going, well, this is it. Here we go, and the rest is history. You know, how are the rides going to go? Are we going to have fun? So forth and so on. Are we going to be able to ride everything? And this is what the Renaissance was like in Italy. Italy was that. Here we are entering, and after that, it's like a family in a theme park where maybe two of the kids go one way, one kid goes the other way, here and that way, and they just all want to ride something different. Um, and what we get at this is the ideas just spread from Italy itself. Um, And the thing is visitors to Italy also help spread Renaissance ideas. People from all over Europe traveled to learn in Italy and trade. Scholars went to study humanism, medicine, so they did hear about this stuff. Artists studied Italian painting and sculpture to learn these new styles and techniques like oil painting. Um, when these travelers returned home, many of them founded art schools and universities. They taught others what they learned, and they began to teach new ideas of experimentation, observation, and logic. So it was just education in itself, and then the spreading of ideas. So this is an early printing press. Pretty interesting how they did this. They actually etched into either bronze or metal the book page. They would make hundreds of these things and put ink on them, put it underneath this press, put a piece of paper on there, press it down in there, move on to the next one, press it down in there, and that's how they made books instead of writing them by hand. You can see this painting also. Uh, so you can see the aspects of religion in this. Angel overlooking the horses are like dying almost, like this guy's dead. So the lay of showing of God. This is an interesting painting. There's stuff that's hidden in this painting. Actually, I was watching it was like a quick video on it, and it was there are things hidden in this, but this is a upper class painting during this time, the time frame. You can see she's pregnant, belly on hand, or hand on belly. So he kind of is freaky looking, but you can see the things that are hidden. And notice how you've got a mirror here, and the person that painted this, even were putting them in the mirror. How they were. Remember, they're doing this from memory. And this is an oil painting of the crucifixion of Christ. So you can see some of the Northern Renaissance paintings that that go with that aspect. Um, so I told you guys printing press and how it worked. In 1450, the guy named Johannes Gutenberg, he actually improves on the existing printing methods by inventing a printing press that uses movable type characters that can be rearranged and used over and over again. So instead of you making one and having just that on there, and you have to keep doing that and keep doing that and keep doing that with the same stuff. Now he's making a little thing where the characters can slide in and out, in and out, in and out, and you can change these characters so you aren't hauling around hundreds of those metal plates. Now you're just hauling around maybe 10, oh, excuse me, 10 or 15, and you're actually being able to change out the characters that are in it. Unlike the Chinese, who used wooden blocks, Gutenberg did his in metal, so it was more durable. Before Gutenberg's inventions, I told you guys most books were written. It could take 4 or 5 months to copy a 200-page book, and the new press could produce 300 pages in a single day. And as a result, books and short works called pamphlets can be made a lot easier, a lot cheaper. But the big result of this is that literacy in Europe actually became way higher. The percentage of people who could actually read and write wasn't just for the clergy now or for the upper class; it was for everybody. As long as you could get your hand on a book and learn how to read it. So the question is why did this end? This period of the Renaissance ended in 1600, and you're like, you're thinking, well, why in the heck would all of this end when all of a sudden people are thinking outside the box with humanism and trying to incorporate everything into a human life that could work together. So really, here's what happened. A bunch of wars plagued the Italian peninsula. Spanish, French, and German invaders battled the Italian territories. causing disruption and instability in the region. Okay, people weren't paying for art, whether it was paintings or sculptures or going to a university or anything like that. They were worried about not dying in war. Um, Later in the movement known as the Counter Reformation, the Catholic Church actually censors artists and writers in response to this Protestant Reformation. That's like Martin Luther, but you guys don't need to know that. Many Renaissance thinkers feared being too bold, which stifled their creativity. And then in 1545, almost at the end of this, the Council of Trent established the Roman Inquisition, which made humanism and any of the views that challenged the Catholic Church an act of heresy, and it was punishable by death. So let this all go for all this time. Well, let it go, but worked with it for all this time in the church. And then this Council of Trent gets established in 1545, and boom, it's punishable by death to think of humanism or any of the ways that or anything that challenge the Catholic Church, and you're done. You will die. And lastly, changing trade routes led to a period of economic decline and limited the amount of money that wealthy contributors could spend. So you were it was kind of uh, like a recession where there wasn't enough money for these people to pay for art. They were more worried about maybe paying bills or keeping finances above head water instead of drowning with their finances. So they weren't paying people to actually come and paint or sculpt things for them. So that is it. That's everything. That's Renaissance. And if you guys have any questions, keep asking them. I will answer them throughout the weekend. If not, I hope you guys have a good Memorial Day weekend. And maybe I'll see some of you guys around this summer, just out and about if we ever get to that point of being okay with going out and about. If you do go out and about, please be careful. Obviously, uh, make sure your hygiene is good when you're out and about. But again, you guys need something over the summer. The classroom will always be open. I still get it. So you can log into the classroom and ask questions if you need something. So if I don't see any of you guys, I'll see you guys hopefully next school year in a normal setting, not like this. So enjoy your summer.